Yeah, good. So, okay, so let me just get this. Then we're going to start off with this. There we go. Okay. So, hold on. Okay, so we're picking up with beyond our boundaries. If we look at the map right here, Dasha, page 195. It'll have a big 16 at the top of the page. Got it? Okay. So if we look at the map of the United States, we see that big orange spot in the middle. Okay, where it says United States, that's our boundaries. We go to the Pacific coast where it says Washington, Oregon, California, and then on the bottom, and then the East Coast where the 13 original colonies in Florida are. That's known as our boundaries. Above us is Canada, and below us is Mexico. But if you look right above Canada is another orange spot known as Alaska. And Alaska is actually beyond our boundaries and not connected to the United States directly. It's connected through Canada. So, how did Alaska ever become part of the United States? It's not connected. In order to travel through it, you have to travel through Canada, which is controlled by who? Who remembers who owns or controls Canada? Layden? Okay, what country? You remember what country controls Canada? No, but the Queen. Dasha? What is it? Lunch? No. I wish lunch was a country, and we could eat it. What country controls Canada? So, one more guess. Aiden. Elliot. E. England. So England still controls Canada, even to this day. So we couldn't just travel through there exactly because it's traveling to another country contained. So what made us decide to purchase Alaska? That's completely separated. If you look right up near here, you can't really see it, but Russia's right on the other side of here. So Alaska and Russia almost touch. So much the fact of back during the time of the Revolutionary War, Alaska was known as Russian America because it was in North America but owned by Russia. We've also talked about when we first started out in the original 13 colonies over here. And then we started moving west. We started moving west. We went over to California because of a gold rush. People convinced us that Oregon was really pretty, so we settled over there. And we have what we know known as different types of rushes, the gold rush of California. And all of this here was considered almost like frontier land. Frontier land was land that has not been settled yet. The last land that actually was settled was the state of Oklahoma, was the last land rush to where in one day almost the whole state of Oklahoma was settled. But now we literally have settled from the East Coast, the Atlantic Ocean, to the West Coast on the Pacific Ocean. So now we're actually getting Alaska was added after that. So Alaska originally belonged to Russia. And Russia right here is the Bering Strait, that little bit of water there, and right on the other side is Russia. And Russia controlled Alaska. Well, in 1867, a member of the Russian, a visitor from the Russian government, came to William Seward and offered him to sell us Alaska for $7,200,000. Who here has $7,200,000 to be able to buy a piece of land? Not me. So some people go, Alaska's not that important. It's not that needed. Alaska's just a big thing. So there goes William Seward. Can everyone still see that? Okay. There goes William Seward. So they come and say, listen, for $7,200,000, we'll sell you Alaska. And most of the people of the United States said, listen, what's Alaska? Alaska's literally just a land full of ice and snow. Now, as beautiful as that is, and as pretty as Alaska is, that's what it looks like. But do you think a lot of Americans have yet to be to Alaska at this time? Probably not. So very few actually been able to see it. Well, Seward was actually able to convince our government to buy Alaska. So, really quick, before I move on, what was Alaska called before we bought it? Someone with a raise of hand. What was Alaska called before we bought it, A and B? Close. Russian America. Why was it called Russian America? 8 and 8. The Russians owned it, and it was in America. So, who was asked to try to convince America to buy Russia? Sorry, not Russia. Buy Alaska. Layden? William Seward. Good job. So, if you look at Seward, Seward. Did Americans want to buy or think that it was a good buy? No. Why? Because it just looked like ice and snow. However, Alaska had really good fishing and also very good furs. Which we remember, even back in the time of the French and Indian War, the French came to America for their furs. And it's also really, really good fishing. So America actually went and purchased Alaska. And some people just decided to make fun of it because who will need a big piece of snow and ice would call it Seward's Icebox. Simply because it had so much ice on it. However, something really cool happened, and gold was discovered in Alaska. So, who remembers what happened the last time gold was discovered somewhere? I think it's Dave with your hand up. Donald? Okay, I can't really see your face, that's why I'm trying to guess which one it is. So, Donald, what happened the last time gold was discovered? They went and looked for it. What else, Catherine? They went to a place where it was gold, but we called that something, Dasha. Gold rush. So, it was known as the California Gold Rush because gold was found in California and everyone went to California to find it. So, do you think that the gold found in Alaska is going to bring people to Alaska? Mm-hmm. So, the gold rush began and soon Alaska paid for itself many times. So pretty much they earned enough money from what they found in Alaska to kind of give back the money that they earned, that they paid for Alaska. But gold wasn't the only thing that they found there that was valuable. Not only is it a beautiful country, and going to visit there, people go and take cruises just to Alaska to see how beautiful it is. Not only was gold found there, but Alaska also has natural resources. So natural resources is something that comes from nature. So coal was found in Alaska. We can get coal from Alaska. Coal, whoever has a barbecue. Okay, now I don't use the charcoal that usually you would use, but that's similar to coal. Now before that, you would also use coal to run trains. You would use coal to run locomotives or steamboats. Coal would also be used to heat houses in the olden days. Coal was a very important natural resource. Also, what we get from Alaska is oil. Now, this is not the same oil that you eat with or you use in your food. If you ever watch your mom make maybe a cake or bread or something like that, she might use oil, and it's a clear oil. You don't want to use this oil inside of your food. That would taste, it's really thick, black, and yucky. I don't think anyone would want that. And then the next one is natural gas. Now, natural gas we use for heating our homes. Oil is also used sometimes for heating our homes. It's also used for cooking. If you have a gas stove, when the fire comes up like in this picture, that's using natural gas. All of those natural resources are found in Alaska. Do you think people are laughing now that SeaWorld decided to urge our government to buy Alaska? No, Alaska actually could be very beneficial to our country. Even though it's separated by Canada, it still is very valuable. Now, when Alaska first came on, Alaska didn't have, oh, where'd I go? Alaska wasn't a state right away. In order to become a state, you had to meet certain requirements. So when Alaska was first added in, it was just a territory that was added into the United States. So as a territory, it couldn't elect its own governor, it couldn't elect representatives, it couldn't elect anything like that. The United States government would elect that. However, Alaska finally met all the requirements to become a state, and therefore it was added in 1959 as the 49th state to the United States. So, Alaska has yet to be a state for 100 years. Also in Alaska, they put military units, Navy and air bases to defend our country. So what I want you to do is look at the map that I have here. Alaska is right here. That green big piece of land at the top of the map. Why do you think it would be good for our country to put air bases there and Navy bases there? Remember, this country here is Russia. And this is kind of giving you a picture of how Russia and Alaska almost touch. So why would it be good for our Army and our Navy and our Air Force to be up here? Let's start with Aiden and V. Okay, so if Russia decides to take back Alaska for themselves, we would have a chance to defend it. Let's see. Donald. Okay, so how kind of protect someone from stealing our land, right? Layden. Okay, so if Canada decided to make war, there would be a spot there. David. Sure. If people went on the land, well, right now we as the United States own that land. So I don't think we're going to be as easy to give it up by someone just coming on and trying to take it. Affendale. Oh, hold on. Yeah, that's true. So let's look at this. Let's look at pretty much what I was thinking is literally the same as what most of us were saying. If you look at the separation between Russia and Alaska, isn't that big of a separation? It's not. So it's easy to get across from Russia to Alaska. It's easier than Russia having to come down this way through the Pacific Ocean. Therefore, if we didn't have a Navy or a Air Force built up here, it would make it a little bit easier for our enemies to get to us than if we had a defense up here. So that would be a good reason why that they would have a defense up here. It protects us from if Russia or even if other countries that down here that decided to and decided maybe to come up this way instead of across the Pacific Ocean because of how big it is, it does give a defense on it being there. Second of all, look how Alaska is separated from the rest of the United States. Do you think there's as many people in Alaska as there are in all of the United States? No, so do you think they need a little, maybe more protection up there? Yes. So let's review. That is our lesson for today. Let's review really quick what we learned. So what was Alaska called before America bought it? 8 and 8. Russian America. Who convinced America to purchase Russia? Layden. William H. Seward. Good job. Did many of the Americans agree with the purchase of Russia in the beginning? Natalie. No, they made fun of Seward, and what was the nickname that they gave to the Alaska? Anyone remember? Aiden E. Seward's icebox because it was full of ice. What was discovered in 1896 that caused people to rush to Alaska? Dasha. Gold, good job. What is one of the natural resources that was found in Alaska? Aiden V. Oil, another one. Donald. Coal, and another one. Let's do Catherine. Oil, coal, and Maiden. And natural gas. Good job. And Alaska became what state in the United States? What number? The 48th, 49th, or 50th? Caitlin. Did you have your hand up? Jocelyn. No, one before that. So what comes before 50? 49th. Good job. Tomorrow we're actually going to learn about our 50th state that becomes part of the United States. So any questions about history? Okay, remember we don't have to do this history worksheet. That's for next week. Okay, Layden. Hold on, Layden. The 44th? No, 49th. David. the gold itself would make them rich, but do you think that Alaska kept it all to herself, probably? No, probably the people that found it wound up with most of it. Caitlin. Hold on a minute, Caitlin. Okay, sorry. Start that again, Caitlin. There won't be a quiz till next week. Okay? Natalie. Yes, so right after this class, third grade will come back for their reading, and then it'll be fourth grade after that. Okay? And then you're done. Joshua. That would be kind of cool if it was a Squidward ocean, wouldn't it be? Catherine. In about 5 minutes. So literally sign out of this one and probably get ready to sign right to the next one of those, okay? So third grade, I will see you in about 5 minutes. Fourth grade, I will see you in a half hour. So with our reading book. Okay, so on the bright side for third grade, and actually fourth grade, you're going to bring the Saved at Sea for reading, okay? So Aiden, Aiden E. Saved at Sea for fourth grade, on the bright side for third grade. Okay? Donald. Okay, then see if you can share with your brother. It should have been sent home. I don't see it here. Okay? So I'll see third grade in about 5 minutes, and fourth grade I will see in a half hour. Have a good one.